product altogether, right? Quizzes as well, right? So on that also, it would be great if you guys can provide feedback as well. So yeah, with that, I'll just present my screen and start the town hall. Okay. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, we'll start with forms and surveys. Uh, In forms and surveys, we rolled out table view for submissions. Okay. So now, earlier we used to have like a sort of like a list where you can find the submission and some details. And for each of the submission, you have to click on, that submission. And on the right side, you were able to see the whole submission itself. And you weren't able to, particularly compare multiple submissions at one point because you can only see one submission at one point, right? So with that in mind, we made the changes to the submissions page, right? So now what you can do is you can always select one of the forms or surveys directly from here, right? And this will actually show you how many submissions are there. Then you can also filter it based on the dates as well. If you want to refresh, you can refresh as well. Then the main functionalities that this comes into this table itself, right? So over here, you can find all the entries at once, right? You can actually manage the view. Like if you want to see 20, 50, how many entries that you want to see here. You can also like the previous submission view, you can also search as well. Apart from that, you can also click on manage columns, and this will show you all the column. Basically, this will provide you with selection of the columns that you want to see in your view. You can include or exclude few of the columns. Then particularly if you want to get redirected to one of the contacts, you can always click on this little circle that you see over here. If you want to copy the email, you can click on this little icon over here to copy them, and there will be like multiple actions that you can do. Apart from that, if you want to see one particular submission, like it used to happen previously, for that you can actually click on this particular icon, and this will expand the whole view for you, and this will show you basically all the details along with the page details. Now, one of the extension that we will be rolling out pretty soon for this will be that I'll just actually go into the view and show you what we are planning to do as well. Just a sec. Mhm. Perfect. So yeah, in this view where you can see all the submissions. Right now, you are not able to basically select one of the column with page details. So if you want to select a column with source URL or document URL, you are not able to do it right now. And this is like one of the extension that will be rolling out very soon, where you will be able to do so as well. So yeah, this is on the table view of submissions. Open to the feedback as well. Like if you guys have used, if you like something, if you did not like about it, open to that as well. Um, so yeah, this is on the table view. Uh, then particularly we launched out math calculations as well, right? In the math calculation, there was a V1 that was rolled out where you can basically for monetary and numerical fields, you were able to run the calculations over here. You can select the field. And this can be used. One of the typical example that we saw was for EMI calculation directly in the form itself based on the two fields, right? So all those things can be done through it. Now we have launched one of the extension of it, which is basically for all the options that you have in the choice elements, you can now assign them a value as well. Okay, so for that, you just need to go into options and enable the calculations. And based on that, you can provide one of the value to each of the options. And then now this particular custom field will appear in the score field as well. And over there, you can run down any of the formulas that you want. So yeah, this has also been rolled out. Apart from that, we also rolled out autocomplete address as well, right? So now whenever you are dragging and dropping the address field, you might see that there's a new update to it. And now we have completely revamped this in a way where, we have completely standardized this. Uh, and over here, you can basically deselect any of the fields that you want, right? You can change the label and all those things that you were able to do previously. You can do it over here as well, right? One of the like the main functionality that we rolled out with this feature is autocomplete address. So if you enable this toggle, what happens is this search bar it gets added to the address block itself, right? So you can basically make a search over here. Now, based on this, there are like multiple search results that populates, and the user can actually select one of that result, and based on that result, every field will get populated automatically. Now, if the user wants, they can also edit the fields that are shown over here. And if they want, they can also like select a different address altogether. So we have rolled this out, and we are also planning to integrate autocomplete address in multiple parts of the platform as well, wherever you'll find the address field. This is like one of the extension that we are thinking of autocomplete address, that in the other parts of the platform, like order form, and also like we are thinking on the lines of stores as well. So over there as well, slowly you'll be able to find this toggle for autocomplete address, and this will be available as well. Plus, we launched this as a rebilling product as well. So what you can do is you can always rebill it with a markup to your customers, right? And yeah, so that way it's like very smooth for you guys as well. So this is also rolled out. Uh, I'll just take a pause at this point, and if anybody has any question, I'll be happy to answer them on the previous functionalities that we just talked about.
I think somebody was asking if we can calculate values of images. So we could assign a value to an image. Not sure what that use case would look like, but feel free to expand.
Yeah, yeah. If you can explain the use case as well, like what kind of example that you are thinking of building with the form, it would be really good.
I think that was Tegan. So if you've got it, speak up. If not, throw it back in the chat and we'll come back to it. Tony, what do you got?
Yeah, I have a week-old ticket where the new address field cannot be used in conditional displays. And the solution that support gave me was to use the old address fields, which are no longer available.
Oh,
And I need this pretty urgently.
Drop the ticket number. We'll get on it.
I did.
Okay, cool.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
We'll
perfect.
do.
We'll actually get on it. Right now, we actually removed it, the address field, because now we will add street address, city, state, country code, and postal code over there, which is like basically subparts of the address. So we are thinking of that addition, but again, like we'll be totally on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lior?
The address field, that's only for the contact, right? If I want to ask someone an address for a venue, for example, I won't be able to use this field and this functionality for that. It's only on like the contact's address.
It's not necessary. So if you like in the search bar itself, you can also put the address of the venue as well, right? So, but you are
But
saying that
it will be saved as the contact's address. That's what I won't be I can't have another field that has this functionality. I just need to have a text field for if I
yeah,
need another address, right?
correct. Basically, this search bar, it is not directly available if you are using custom fields and you are saying that, hey, this is an office address. And based on that, if you want to add it over there. But again, that's like a really interesting use case that we will actually think into.
Like for either company or custom objects being using to use the address, and maybe it's not will be the same object like a contact, but maybe something else or an opportunity, having an address of a specific opportunity,
Okay,
having the autofill make it even easier for the contacts to fill it out will be very useful.
got it. We'll actually plan an extension around that as well, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, cool. Then I'll actually
Sorry.
move forward.
There's a
So
few more questions in the chat.
yeah.
Recurring payments for donations. I know that's been discussed a bit. Where are we with that?
Yeah. So basically, recurring payment for donations. We have like before even rolling that out, we are thinking of rolling out payments and surveys, right? So that is something that we are planning to do in Q4 itself, right? And probably in the Q1 itself, we'll actually roll out the functionality where you can actually use donations. Basically, donation type use cases could be handled in recurring payments as well. So yeah.
Awesome. And then the form,
That's a Q1 for sure.
Yeah, that's what we are planning, because we are planning few extensions around the payments. But for this quarter, because of the bandwidth and everything, we'll only roll out one extension towards the payment, which is basically launching it in surveys. But for Q1, this is like one of the topmost item that we are looking at.
Thank you.
got it. And then Tony, or sorry, Steve, is the form score visible to the customer, just the agency? I believe it's visible to both from my testing.
Yeah. Which score are you talking about? In the math calculation?
You talk about the math calculation or the scoring, like the quiz scoring?
The math calculation.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Got it. You can always make it a hidden field, and through that, it won't be seen by the end customer, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got it. Got it. I'll come back to the chat again. We'll try to cover the other items that we have as well.
Cool. Go for it.
Yeah. So we have also launched form analytics and survey analytics as well. So in the form analytics, you can basically make the selection of the form that you have and see multiple metrics around it: total views, responses, average time, and completion rate, right? And just a sec. And yeah, based on that, you'll be able to see basically the response time and everything. Now in the surveys, it's a bit different, because in surveys you have like multiple slides, and based on that, you'll be also able to see the drop-off rate over here as well. So that if you have like one particular survey and you want to optimize it, and like remove the points of basically the highest drop rates, you can do it now using the analytics itself. And also we'll try to improve on it. So we are hearing on this as well. If you guys have any suggestion on, any of the use cases or any of the metrics that will be important for you, we are open to that. Yeah. Was somebody trying to speak?
Nope.
Okay, got it.
I
Then
have
yeah,
a question on the math calculation on surveys. If
Yeah.
I want to run a survey and I want to just give people an option to choose between 1 and 5, for example, and then whatever values they obviously choose, I will add that up. How do I do that? Because the current option is between 1 and unlimited, right?
can you actually explain that again? I'll actually show it on the service itself if you want. But yeah, can you explain that again?
Yeah, so there's a question, and the options are 1, 2, 3, or 5. So from a math operation point of view, I don't really have the ability to actually limit
Okay.
that choice
Got
to between 1 and 5. Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. That is like something you can think on the lines of improvements, right? So basically what you want is, if you've selected this metric, you want to just pass 2 of the values, right? If I understood that correctly.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a set of survey questions, for example, right? And the only
Yeah.
options that they have for each question is, 1, 2, 3, or 5,
Okay.
But at the moment, they can actually put in any value.
Got it. Got it. I think one of the things that you can do particularly for this is you can actually create one of the items on the ideas board as well, and we'll actually prioritize it directly from there for sure, because we are actually looking at improvements. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm. Got it. So yeah, the items that are coming in Q4, one of the top items is payments and surveys, which we'll try to launch in Q4 itself, right? And then a few of the other Q4 items, particularly in forms and surveys, will be one other thing that we are prioritizing is joint form submission importer, because we have seen that a lot of you guys, you are coming, like you were previously using jot form and type form as well, right? And if you want to actually, not directly shift to HighLevel, and before that, you just want to import the submissions so that you are able to, interact with those leads, you'll be able to do that as well. So this will be a sort of like a native integration that we'll do. Apart from that, we are also adding basically for terms and conditions right now. If you are using that in the workflows, you don't have the option to because it's not a custom field or any sort of field, right? You're not able to select whether the user said yes or no to the terms and conditions. and based on that, you are not able to run the workflow. So that is also one of the item that we'll work on and ship out in Q4. Then one of the other item that allow others option in choice elements as well. This is also a long due item, and we are planning to pick it in Q4 as well. So yep, that's online for Q4. And we'll also be focusing on stability, and also we'll be focusing a lot on the tickets as well in this particular quarter. So that because everything that we have rolled out so far, all the issues that you guys have raised around that are addressed pretty soon. So yeah, that is also on the plan. On the quizzes,
Wait, can
we
I ask
launched.
a question?
Yeah, sure.
On that, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But back to that JotForm submission importer, does that, so when you have JotForm, the HIPAA compliance version of JotForm does not allow you to export submissions if JotForm has not, I guess, integrated with a system. Are you for certain that the HIPAA compliant version will allow submissions to come into HighLevel?
Got it. Got it. So right now we were actually looking at the, the non-HIPAA compliant cases. But again, this is like one of the interesting thing that you've raised. We'll actually try and check whether for the cases where, if your submissions are HIPAA compliant, do they allow to export them or not? We'll actually check that as well. But
Yeah.
so far on the importer, what we have seen is there wasn't any sort of, particularly this item wasn't particularly included by JotForm explicitly, but we'll actually check into this. Thanks a lot for raising that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. So on the quizzes, we launched the quiz builder. So now basically, you can make your users answer multiple questions, and based on that, you can show them a result page and rate them on the basis of, overall score or basically category-wise score as well. Over here, you can also build tiers for the quizzes as well. So if somebody scores above 90, you can show it in green and say that, hey, you scored really high. If somebody scores between 50 to 90, you can also rate them as medium, and this will happen automatically, and the color will also change over there for them. And based on that, you can also have a CTA connected to them. So basically, if somebody scores high, you might want to sell them a different course or like a different product altogether. If somebody scores low, you might have a different use case altogether. So with that in mind, we rolled out the first version of the quiz builder, right? And what we are planning to do in Q4 is we will be launching result page templates. So this is like one of the major items that we've been hearing from you, that right now there is not a lot of customizations on the result page, right? And so one of the solution that we have particularly for this is that we'll be launching multiple templates for the result page. So you can select from multiple options and basically edit those. And there are like multiple other items that we are planning for quizzes. One is that now you'll be able to use quizzes directly in the workflows as well, right? And the other thing that you'll be able to do with probably in V1 will only roll out quizzes as a trigger point in workflows. In the version 2, we'll actually roll out the filters for this as well, where you can actually categorize it based on the overall score or like the category wise score, and based on that you can run the workflows as well. So yeah, that will also come. We'll also launch quiz templates and themes, right? So similar to forms and surveys, you'll be able to select from multiple templates of quiz and use that particular quiz for building your final quiz, right? And also we'll be launching quiz element in the funnels as well, right? So this will be like you can directly go to the funnels, and similar to forms and surveys, you can just drag and drop the quiz element, so and the quiz will be added to the funnel itself. And lastly, we're also planning to add autocomplete address in quizzes as well. So right now it is available in forms and surveys. So yeah, it will be another extension where you can use it in quizzes as well. One very important item that we have rolled out today. So we haven't announced it so far, but if you guys had this use case, you can actually use it. So the first version that we rolled out for quizzes, in that you only had one element per page, right? Now what you can do is you can add multiple elements per page. So if you have like a use case where you want to collect the phone number, and with that also you want to take the consent from them, you can add multiple elements like phone number and also TNC below it. So you'll be able to do that. Just that this will be limited to the questions. So if you have like, you won't be able to add two single choice questions in one page itself, but majorly because of the jump to logic. But again, this is like an extension for which is was particularly requested in the initial version, that you aren't able to add multiple elements, so you will be able to do that as well, and we'll also particularly announce it in a larger group as well. So that is also out. So yeah, I'll take a pause on this, and if you have any particular ideas, or any particular suggestions, or if you have used quiz, what do you like about it, what do you not like about it, I'm open to that as well. So yeah.
All right.
Got it.
Sounds
Got it.
like nothing major to voice here. Good news.
Yeah. Did you guys use quizzes by any chance so far? Or like you are also exploring right now, and or like you are looking at, you'll need some more time in your accounts to go live with quizzes. Uh,
I think the biggest thing that is needed is the ability to use this in workflows. Specifically, we would like to use it based on, I think it's called category. So if we could filter based on score per category, that would be amazing.
Got it. Got it. And that is what we are planning. That is like the topmost item that you can see.
Can I just show you something in quizzes that I have a problem with?
Yeah, sure.
Something in the logic.
Yeah, sure.
Can I share my screen?
You ought to
Yeah.
be able to.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have recreated a quiz that I have in Thrive Quiz Builder that I have on my website. But there is something that I wasn't able to do. So I have two main questions in the first page that opens like two buckets of other questions. And if people land on the first bucket of questions, after that, I want to show the results page, because this is a completely different team. But if they choose one of these questions, they automatically go to the other questions, if
Got
that
it.
makes sense.
Got it. So basically,
You can
right
see
now,
it here in my Thrive Quiz Builder. I have two buckets. If they answer the first question, they go to this bucket, and there is no other questions after that. They go to the result page. If they pick the second question, they go to one bucket, and then after that I have other questions depending on their behavior and answer. But
got it.
here I cannot divide them into buckets and show the results after that, because
Okay.
these are different topics, and it's not these questions are not relevant to this topic, but the people see these questions after they answer this one.
Got it.
Did I
Just
explain it well?
Yeah. So just one idea that I have over here is, basically, if you have like a final, suppose you have like a final page which is common for both of these builders, right? And can you just go to that Thrive quiz builder that you were showing? Can you go there? Can you open that? Where you were showing the builder for your quiz with the questions and everything. Yeah, this one. Perfect. So over here, basically one thing that you can try is you can actually make the same endpoints for these both branches, right? And basically for the A branch that you have, you can have the jump to logic and make them jump to sort of like a thank you page that you have built, right? And for B branch that you have, when this is done, you can also make them jump to the thank you page. And that way, after that, you can actually show the result page. So this will solve the problem.
Just let me, if I understand this right, I create at the end two thank you pages, and if they answer some of these questions, they go straight to the last page, the thank you page.
Yeah, you actually just need to build one thank you page, okay? And for both of your branches, you can have them to be redirected to the jump to page in the last end. So the ending is same for them, and based on that, the result page will be generated.
I'm just not sure if I understand that.
Okay.
How to make it.
Basically,
Just let me
if you'll
show you.
just,
If they pick the first category
Mhm.
and I go to here, I have these questions. After these questions, I want to show the result page. But if I pick one of the questions, they go straight to other questions that are from the second branch.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If you'll go to Thrive Quiz Builder again, if you can go to
Yeah.
that where you were showing the builder, the Thrive Builder.
Yes.
Okay. I think, yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So basically, you have this A branch, right?
Yes.
Suppose you have one thank you page, and this A branch, after the selection, it points to that thank you page. And this thank you page is not the result page. The result page will come after the thank you page. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you just connect that to that thank you page, and you have like three questions over here, in the last question, you connect that to the same thank you page. Okay. So the quiz will work in a way where it will go to branch A. It will ask the first question that you have, right? After that, it will take you to the thank you page. And after that, you can go to the result page. And for the second branch, it will ask you two more questions. After that, it will take you to the same thank you page. And after that, you will be redirected to the result page itself. So that way, the ending is same for both branches that you have, and you just need to build one of the thank you pages, and that's it. I think like does that make sense, Ryan, to you as well?
Yeah, it's
Somewhat,
essentially
yeah.
like the thank you page is the holder, and then
Yeah.
it says
Yeah.
get your results.
So if
Correct.
they answer any of these questions, they go to the thank you page. Any of these.
Correct. Correct.
Let's imagine I have done that.
Yeah.
So they go to
Okay.
the thank you page, and they are
Correct.
skipping all these questions.
Correct.
Yes. And I have made that these questions lead to that step, then this, then this one, and they naturally will come to this page.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct. So for
What should be the content of this page in order
uh,
to get the result?
I mean, whatever you
uh,
want, you just need a button, right? Can you put a button in the quiz or not?
It's yeah, there are buttons. I just
Mohit, can they just put a standard button or it has to be a selection?
there would be like a submit button that will be there since it's the last page, right? And
Okay, got it. Yeah. Give that a
they'll
shot. If
just
not, jump on and we can take care of this one offline.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. What else we got?
Yeah.
Let's
Perfect. I'll
see.
just that's clean
Change
again.
the close to fire. There'll be an option. So Dave was asking, will there be an option at the SaaS level to add or remove from a certain sales configurator plan? As an
Got
example,
it.
right now you can build a plan that includes forms but doesn't include surveys. So you're just asking if quizzes is going to be a specific option in the SaaS builder.
Correct, right? If that is a question, so yeah, that is also one of the item that we have in the plan. So we have this for QR code and for quizzes both. Uh, you will be able to, make a package based on that. But again, it might like for one of them, it might take up till Q1 to get rolled out, but one of them will be live in
Okay, cool.
Q4.
So it's on the way, Dave. Chris, we got.
Hey, so since we're talking forms and stuff, is the issue with the form conditional logic fixed where let's say there's a field on the contact record that is not in the form. However, what I want to do is have the form's conditional logic look back at the contact field, contact record for all fields that it has. And if it has a certain field value for a custom field, I want the form conditional logic to be able to act on what is in the contact record versus how it is now, where it's only looking at the fields in the form. You see what I mean? For example, like I brought this up to Prashant like in May or June or something. For example, like I have a check-in form where like people scan a QR code at a location to check in, and a little form comes up on their phone, you know. And it says check in, and there's actually a hidden field too, that has a value. I don't think that actually matters. But when people hit the submit button, everybody sees the message that I have set, which is thank you for submitting the form. We've got your check-in info. However, I'm trying to set it up to where if somebody checks in the first time, cool, it goes through. But if they try to duplicate the submission like within an hour, instead of showing them a thank you message that their info has been submitted and their check-ins done, I want to show them a message that says, hi, it looks like you've already checked in recently. Please wait some time before checking in again. Like that's all I want to do, but I can't.
Got it. Got it. So this is mostly, I think this particular use case is mostly in line with event check-in only, right?
Sort of. It's not even like an event necessarily. Like I was doing this thing called Restaurant Month in July. It went well. But and I had to do it on the back end and workflows to where if somebody already checked in within an hour, it like actually just took them out of the workflow and didn't do nothing. But everybody still sees that confirmation message that, hey, I should be getting an email confirmation now, but they don't actually. So that's my workaround. I just need to, I would love for it to actually work the way I'm trying to make it work.
Got it. Got it. That's a super interesting use case. So basically, got it. Got it.
It's like
I'll
a
actually
it's like a time-based redemption.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, I
Correct.
could
Correct.
kind of see where gyms could use this as well, where I don't know, like if you could, there's like just a reset time limit of an hour or two, or
Yeah.
2 hours, where if they checked in, like they wouldn't be checking in again. So it's almost like kind of protects that check-in a bit.
Yeah. Here's I think the way I set this all up was my workflow was doing all the work. Like there's a hidden field on that form that said recent check-in. I think it was a radio button, and it said yes. And when the form gets submitted, that workflow is going, is it yes or no on the recent check-in? If it's yes, get them out of the workflow. If it's no, send them through all the steps and the actions, right? But and that works fine. Like nothing's broken on the back end there with workflows. It's just the form up front and the user experience of, hey, I can actually check in 1,000 times and try to win a sweepstakes prize. But they're like,
So
yeah.
it sounds like the feature request is a time-based, like in a similar way that we don't allow like duplicates into a workflow or opportunities or that. It's a time-based control, so that if the form has been submitted, it cannot be submitted again successfully within X hours or X time value.
Yes. However, I think that makes things complicated in the solution with development, where instead of doing that and pigeonholing, hey, we have this new feature, but it's time-based. Instead of doing that, just make the form logic be able to look back at a contact record and the fields it has and what those values of those fields are. Like just have it do that. And that way we can set, hey, if this field is X, right, with the value of X, then either send them to this link or show this message or do something, rather than building this whole time, because I'm pretty sure that's all JavaScript, but like you would have to build like a time logic and rules, but that's not the only use case here. You know what I mean? It's just because we want to be able to use the conditional logic options that we have, like send them here or show this message or show this next question or do something. So it doesn't. There's plenty of use cases where it's not time based. Maybe somebody, maybe there's a use case out there where somebody can submit a form 3 different times. And after that many times, like it's keeping, like the contact record is keeping tabs of how many times that form was submitted in a custom field. But then after that, like they can't submit this form anymore. You know what I mean? So that would be different than the time-based thing I'm asking about. Mine's just happens to be a little bit time-based.
Got it. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting use case. On the
Sounds like
conditional.
let's have a discussion about this offline, because there's some other user concerns that we might have around that. So like taking the hard development path might be the right one. And so let's circle up on that. I think there's more there that we should explore offline.
Yeah, happy to. Just
Cool.
let me know if you guys want to meet up.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah. Perfect then. And also, I'm putting my speak with link as well. So if you guys want to book a call with me, you can use that as well.
Oh, I have one other question, not related to that one actually. So I was building this workflow. It's actually for Level Up. I was helping Tom Bristol, and there is, so we have this form. I'm not at my computer right now, so I'm trying to think. But like it's a new feature I was trying to do in the workflows, and I forget what it was called, but it's very limited. It can only, if you guys know what it is, tell me. But it's the thing where you can only use a text input field or a number field. And it's something in the workflows, and I'm not sure what it is, dang it. I was wanting to ask you guys this question. Does anyone have any idea what I'm talking about? It's a new feature that released like a couple weeks ago that, I don't know if it's condition. I don't know if it's the if else or what, but do you guys know what I'm talking about at all?
I'm drawing a blank, to be honest.
Okay.
Custom objects?
All right, next question.
Yeah. We'll think about it.
Got it. Got it. Cool then. This is on the quizzes end. I'll try to cover QR codes as well. Okay. So as you guys know that on QR code, we launched the builder as well, where right now it solves for 2 purposes. One is if you want to redirect them to a website, you can do it. If you want to redirect, second is basically if you want them to be redirected to a review link, you can do that as well, right? And then it comes with a bunch of customizations around editing this QR code, right? And you can currently download this QR code in PNG format, right? Now, for the things that will be rolling out in Q4, one item is basically if you want them to be redirected to a phone call, you'll be able to do that as well. So suppose uh, based on the QR scan, you just want them to be redirected to the phone app. Imagine on the iPhone, and you are taken over there, and over there you will have that number. Now you can do a bunch of actions on top of it. You can either call that person or you can actually save that contact as well. So it will solve for both of the use cases. The second item is redirect to the SMS app. Suppose you want your user to be redirected to the SMS app with one particular SMS pre-filled, right? And with also the number also pre-filled over there. So you'll be able to do that as well. If you would want them to be redirected to email, that will also come up. So it will populate the email app with the with the two already filled based on the email that you put over here. Then also a subject for that particular email and also a particular message for that email as well. So these three will actually come out. Apart from that, this is like one of the item that will roll out, which is on downloading QR in SVG format, because I've heard a bit about the resolution issues that exist when you try to probably print the QR code in much larger sizes, right? So that will be solved using the SVG format. So that will also come up. Uh, so yeah, that is everything that we are particularly planning on the QRs, quizzes, and forms and surveys end. Uh, Happy to take any questions that you have on QR as well.
Steve, what do you got?
Again, can we turn it on and off in SAS?
Okay, so yeah, that is something that we are planning. So as I told that uh, for quizzes and QR code, we'll roll it out. We'll actually see if we can do this bit in this quarter itself. Otherwise, by next quarter for sure, this will come out. But we'll actually push for QR codes and quizzes to be live for the SaaS plan pretty soon.
Cool.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. You get any gateway error, Evo? Ivo?
What happened? Okay. So will there be API access for QR codes? Uh, Not something that we have planned so far, but this does look interesting, because one of the things that we'll be doing with QRs is integrating it at multiple places on the platform as well. So yeah, so we are actually thinking on in that particular direction. But again, you can also create this idea on the ideas board as well, so that it becomes very easy for us to prioritize as well. Okay, GHL website is not loading.
I'm taking care of that. Don't worry. I'm on the dev team.
Got
Keep
it.
moving. Multitasking Monday.
Yeah. So for QR codes and workflows, attach a unique QR code to a contact use case events. If you can talk a bit about it, because we actually wanted to include QR codes in the workflows, but again, QR code is always redirecting you to one of the products itself, right? So we weren't able to, directly come up with a use case. But yeah, if you can like tell us a bit about it, it will be really good. Alan,
Well,
if you can.
I don't have a specific use case for events because that's something there was a group talking about it in the Go High Level community where they would use it for check-ins. I mean, I can follow up on that, what would the specific use case for that would be. But in terms of the second one, just having access to the white label link itself. So each QR code has that embedded link, which tends to be permanent, which would be, usually your white label link / QR / some code over there. So having access to that link, at least visually, of course, you can't edit it because that's permanent. That would be nice.
Got it. Got it. So on this part, okay. So basically, you want that link that you have for QR to be something else based on the, white label domain that you are using, correct?
Yeah. So in this specific case, for example, NFC cards, if I need to use the NFC card and target it to the same QR code link, I'd need to know what the primary link there is. So right now, when you scan the QR code, it hits the primary link first, which is the white label link, and then it goes to one of those additional options, which would be a website or an SMS or a bunch of other options. So I need that primary link, at least make it visible in the app itself. Does that make sense?
Okay. Uh, so it actually redirects to one of the link, and after that, it is redirecting to the final link. The first redirection happens so that we
Yeah.
can capture the analytics that you can see, particularly for QR codes, right?
Yeah.
Again, like what you want to actually do with that link, if you can explain that again. Like I couldn't clearly understand. Ryan, did you get that?
Yeah, it's just to use it in NFC cards or in any other locations using the same link. That's it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, got it, got it. Cool and cool. I think we can actually take this offline as well, and discuss this in detail as well. If you want, you can actually book a call with me. I put down my link. We can discuss this use case and any other use case that you have. So yeah,
Sure.
got it, got it. Okay. Texan, if you can
Dutch
tell me.
Texan, what's up? You're on mute, or at least your audio is not coming through. All right, when you get that sorted, you let us know, okay? We're gonna be right here. Cool. What else we
Got it.
got? Anything?
Checking the other queries. Info meeting about. Okay. Got it. There's another use case for events. Got it. Got it. We'll actually have it like the option to turn off on and off in SaaS Builder. We'll do that. Got it. Got it. Okay. Got it. I have one problem with Kazakh. Okay.
Hey, I don't know if it's me, but the speak with link is not loading in my Google Chrome app.
Okay.
I'm also trying right
Yeah.
now.
There's a server error. Yes, I see it too.
I think this could be related to a gateway issue we had. Just got resolved. So give it a little, 5 minutes for Cloudflare to figure some stuff out.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, there's like 10 things happening at once right now. So all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else on quizzes
Got
or
it. Just check.
forms or QR codes? Different topic. Well, the email inbox for the domains, will we have email inbox for the domains? I see what you're saying. Good question. TBD. What you're essentially saying is, are we gonna have a true email client, similar to the way that Gmail and Outlook work? Are we trying to compete with Gmail and Outlook? Not exactly. So we'll see what happens there, but there's definitely a lot of improvements happening where, at least for basic functions, I think it could work pretty well. But there'll be more information about the email inbox here within the next month. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Got it. Got it.
Cool.
Ryan, along that question line on the domains, is it okay to ask?
Yeah, you can ask.
So
You can always ask.
I made my first two purchases, but then she doesn't want the URL, so I don't know how to cancel. So she doesn't renew next year. Is there a way to do that?
There's no way to cancel. Yes, there totally is a way to cancel. A lot of huge improvements happening there too. Transfers, the whole bit. So link up with me and I'll make sure you get to the right person, but I don't want to just send you to support generally. We'll get it taken care of.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Hey, Ryan, can you
Yeah.
me on that as well? Because I purchased a domain and I need to actually do a transfer as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll drop my email in here and I'll get this over to support to
Thanks,
see
Ryan.
what the right path is. All right, cool.
Got it.
Dutch,
Cool.
did you find your microphone?
I'm also putting down my email over here. So if you guys want to email me, you can do that as well. My speak with link. Yeah, it's working now. So if you guys want to book a call, you can do that now as well. So yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. Dutch Texan, if you've got a question, go ahead and ask it. You are on mute, but we're anxiously awaiting this question, so let us know. One more unrelated question. This pertains to the SaaS configurator. Are there any plans to make it possible to change categories for SaaS plans? Good question. I have no idea, to be really honest with you. Sounds like something that they would have accounted for, but I'm not really sure. SaaS mode's coming up pretty soon too, I think. So there'll be a town hall for that.
Yo, Ryan, that question
Yep.
that I had no idea what I was talking about earlier. Conditional logic in the email builder where you can like show and hide
Oh.
different sections. Yeah. That was the thing I was like trying to ask about, but
Okay.
yeah, different product.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear me now?
Oh my gosh, we can hear you.
Oh my God. All right. What a morning. I got a couple of questions. The first question about the QR code. We have now QR codes, workflows, and all those kind of things. Is it possible if somebody fills out a form, for example, for an event, that we automatically create a custom QR code specifically for that contact and email it out as like a QR code that we can scan that everybody comes on board, like for example with Level Up, everybody has their own QR code.
Okay, so what you're asking is what you're talking about is like a dynamic QR code where it could link. I think we were talking about this on the monthly town hall where when you build a QR code, it can be dynamic for each contact, so it could essentially link to like a V card, or I haven't dealt with.
I'm not
I haven't
even
dealt
that
with
far.
those files in a long time, but is that sort of what you're asking?
On Level Up, our QR code was not like a V card, right? Like that was just like you scan it and you see the name.
Yeah, well, I mean that was a totally different software, to be honest, that I think left a lot to be desired. So, but for
I think we can create it for ourselves for Level Up 2025, right?
I mean, for now, like I guess the workaround could be you could host it and it could just be like a direct download link for a VSC or whatever the file type is called, you know. I don't know if we have direct download URL, but yeah, it seems possible. There's a workaround, but the question really for Mohit and team is, would there be the option, or are we looking at developing an option for the QR codes wherein we can designate a file download, or I mean, that kind of scares me from a security standpoint, but or like a contact page, because it's a pretty common use case that you'd be like, hey, you know, if you want more information, here's my contact.
I mean,
or maybe you could
not
build
even
it out.
that.
You know, maybe you could.
Like, sorry. I mean, like if people sign up for an event, that everybody get their own QR codes. Where if people get a QR code, for example, they show the email, you scan the email, and you see like, okay, this person is registered, and this person has.
Got it.
I think it means for check-in, basically for events.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they get the email with the QR code. We, as the event host, for example, scan it, and then the workflow runs saying they arrived, they're here, or it opens their like a trigger link, basically. Just
So I think it was Steve. Somebody created a cool video on this on how to do it using qrcodeserver.com, their APIs. Do we have native plans? I'm not really sure, but there is a pretty cool video, and I think we remade a version of that as well. There's definitely a way around it. Let me see if I can find the video and I can drop it.
So otherwise, I should put it on the idea board because I think there's a lot of value for a lot of like many different events that we host nowadays.
Yeah.
And then I have two form questions if that's okay.
Before this topic, this would also be a great enabler for direct mail. Things like get your custom quote or your custom offer, and you scan the code, and then
Yeah, I
Couldn't
think
agree more.
the ability to link QR codes to some form of a trigger is key.
Got it.
And to also open it up on SAS Configurator.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, because if you send out a custom quote and you can trigger if people actually scanning their custom quote, you know when to follow up and all those kind of things. So it will be awesome.
This was the video that we found. I believe that we remade it. I can't find it offhand, but this is the original video I dropped in the chat that walks through how to set that up for check-ins.
And then my form questions, if that's okay. Would we get a custom field for time?
Custom field for time and
Just instead of pick a date, we pick a time as well. That would be. Is that something in the planning, or should I put it on the idea board?
You can actually think in that particular direction. So this could be like a new element altogether that we are looking at. So yeah, particularly yeah, you can actually put it on the ideas board as well. And we are actually looking in the direction where we want to add the more and more elements to form surveys and quizzes. But definitely you can prioritize if you can just add it on the ideas board. We are definitely
Okay.
thinking.
Because right now I have like 3 different fields, like hours, minutes, AM, PM, and that is just confusing if you do it like that. Then I have another question. Custom objects, are they going to forms anytime in Q4 or Q1, Q2?
Custom objects for forms.
Yeah.
That sounds like a custom objects team question. I don't know. What do you think, Mohit?
Actually depend on them.
You guys come first here, so I'm asking you first.
Yeah. So not probably in Q4, but again, like Q1 or Q2 will actually think in that direction and prioritize for you.
So I need to be paid.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll work on that. All right. Thank you so much.
Yep. Chris, what do you got?
Yeah, I was just curious, who would I talk to on the dev team in regards to the new app marketplace web widgets? My particular question is, really, like if I want to make a web widget have and I'll say this, with a web widget you have a settings UI that pops up, and then you have the actual widget that shows up on the page. But I want to input on the settings UI that can take a merge tag, like a custom field or a custom value, like in the merge code format, and have the widget be able to like see what that custom value or that custom field is. And I just, the document that you guys have for how to make a web widget does not include anything about that, and I'm just wondering who I need to talk to about how to figure that part out.
Yeah. Actually, I think Prakhar would be the right person for this. I'm also adding his speak with link over here.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Prakhar is your boy.
Sweet. Thank you.
All right. I'll have my team look at the this help doc with merge fields. And we'll make sure that that's updated. So thanks for flagging.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I think that covers everything. If there's anything left in the chat, we can go back and retroactively address all that. But anything else that we need to discuss, Mohit?
I think that's it. And
Awesome.
thanks a lot for joining, guys. And if you have any ideas, do put it on the ideas board for sure.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. Really cool stuff coming out. We've got a lot of work to do this week, so we're going to go ahead and get on it. Recommend you do the same. And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.